Hey, everybody, I'm Kenny. It's good to see everybody. This is a very exciting time for me. I've been working on this for a long time. And for those of you that don't know what this is called a compact disc. But I am very proud of this record. I've been really working hard on it for a long time. There's so much to talk about. And we're going to get to the music in a minute. But first of all, I just want to say hello to everybody out there in No Shoes Nation, to everybody that's ever been to a show. I want you to know that I hope you're safe. I hope you're healthy. I hope that that you're mentally strong, because it's really hard to be mentally strong now. And I think that one of the reasons that I wanted to release this record now is because people need something to make them happy. In my throughout my life, when I was in a funk, or when I was, I don't know, just life was not going my way, I would always lean on music. And before I even started writing songs, I would always just truly lean on everyone that I loved music. And for that reason, I thought about whether this was the correct time to put this record out or not. But I thought about it for that reason. Music makes people happy. Music makes me happy. And I think as a country, we're all in a funk. And I hope that there's some music within this collection of songs that can make you happy, and can make you smile, and allow you to rise out of your funk a little bit. And I got asked a lot. I did a lot of radio interviews yesterday, and I got asked a lot about why now. And that's why, because music truly is. I truly believe that music is medicine, and I think there's a lot of medicine on this record. And I truly hope it makes you happy. It made me happy making it. And there's a lot of things we're going to do tonight. We're going to I'm going to talk about a lot of the songs on the record. I'm going to play some songs off the record. And more importantly, I've never done this. We're going to take questions from a lot of fans across the country, and I'm going to do my best to answer them as best as I can. So I think we have one now. Alex from Pleasant Prairie, Wisconsin. What was the inspiration for the album? Wow, that's a great question. I think every time that I release a record, I think that just the human experience, that life is the inspiration for my record. And I would like to think that I got asked a question yesterday, how is this record different from any in the past that you've put out? And I would like to think that they're all just different because I'm at a different place in my life. I've had different life experiences. I've on the road, off the road, traveled, met people that really inspired me and influenced my life. So if you do your job right, when you go into the studio, a lot of those people and characters and life experiences makes it onto your record. And I believe that we did that with this record for sure. What's next? Okay. This is Deborah Jane from Rancho Palos Verdes, California. Thank you for this record, Kenny, and our anthem, We Do. How has making this album changed you? Sorry, guys. Especially for the anthem, We Do. How has making an album changed you now that you've had so much success? Or do you approach the project the same way when you started out? Well, just like I just said, I don't approach any project the same way. If it's, the last record I did before this that I didn't see coming was a hurricane relief record, after Hurricane Irma and Hurricane Maria. And I think that in my brain, I was going to go down a certain road, right? And I was going to make a record, and then that happened, and my brain went completely somewhere different. And so that record was really different. And because that record was different, this record's different. And like I said, the life experiences are different. And I'm really proud of it. Let's see here. Luke in Charleston, South Carolina. How'd you meet Michael Franti? You always tour and record with people like Grace Potter, Uncle Kracker, the Wailers, Willie Nelson. Well, Luke, I met Michael on the road just several years ago. It was at a festival in Florida, and I've always really loved his music. I mean, speaking of music making you happy, Michael's music really makes me happy. You know, and I've absolutely just loved his music for a long time. I listened to his music on my boat and on the road before I even met him. So that's how I met him. And at some point we're going to get to tour together, hopefully. Let's see here. Zelda from Martha's Vineyard asks, "Knowing You is a classic country waltz. Is that song about someone specific, and how awesome was it to actually record a straight-up country song?" What a concept, right? That song, when I first heard it, there's not that many songs that truly stop you in your tracks the first time you hear it. But this one did, and not only because it's a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 waltz, but, just because of what it said. I truly feel like that there's a couple of people in my life that I think about when I hear that song. And I truly believe that this song is just about someone that was in your life that's no longer in your life for whatever reason, whether you just moved on or they passed or whatever the scenario. But I think that this song is just a true reflection about realizing how grateful and how much gratitude you have that person was in your life in the first place. And that there's nothing negative at all within it. It's just all a positive memory. And I don't know, I when I think about that, when I listen to this song, I think about those people, and I hope there's somewhere in the universe that they're having those same kind of thoughts about me, and that's what we hope anyway. And so one thing I'm going to do tonight, I told you guys I was going to play some songs, but I thought it would be great if I brought in the songwriters to sing with me that wrote some of these songs. And we're gonna, since you asked about Knowing You, we're going to do that now. And I want to introduce Brett James, who wrote Out Last Night for me. We wrote so many. Well, we wrote it together. We wrote a lot of songs together, Brett and I. So thank you for being here.
Thank you,
Bud. And Kat Higgins is from Vancouver, and I'm really proud of her. And so yeah, we're gonna do Knowing You for you. This is Kenny Greenberg, by the way. What's up? What's up? Knowing you probably got your toes in the sand at a bar on a beach in the sun somewhere. And knowing you got something cold in your hand, chatting up a stranger without a care. And knowing you're still wild and free. And knowing you're probably way over me. But God, we were so alive. I was a kid on a carnival ride, holding my breath till the moment when you were gonna leave me too soon. And I'd do it all over, 'cause damn, it was good knowing you. Is that Brett?
And knowing you was a free fall from 100,000 feet. You don't even care where you land. And knowing you was the kind of rush that you feel when you finally get to sit in with the band.
Probably my favorite lines of the whole album right there.
And knowing you're still a tumbleweed. I only wish that you would tumble right back to me. 'Cause God, we were so alive. I was a kid on a carnival ride, holding my breath till the moment when you were gonna leave me too soon. But I'd do it all over, 'cause damn, it was good knowing you.
Knowing you're still a tumbleweed. I only wish that you would tumble back to me.
'Cause God, we were so alive. I was a kid on a carnival ride, holding my breath till the moment when you were gonna leave me too soon.
Well, I'd do it all over, 'cause damn, it was good. I'd do it all over, 'cause damn, it was good knowing you. Kat, Brett, thank you very much. Love you guys.
Brother. Love you too, man. Thanks for having us. Love everybody.
Thank you so much,
No
everybody.
Shoes Nation. Come on.
Yeah.
What a great song, everybody. Guys, thank you for coming. All right. First one out of the way. I got the cobwebs out, Greenberg.
Oh, yeah.
Why not? Okay, let's see here. Just so you guys know, there's going to be people coming in and out. There's different guitar players. There's a lot of people. That's the only stationary person is going to be me. So, Kathy from Idaho says, "You are the best. Why do you love No Shoes Nation so much?" Over here, Dave Lee. Well, that's a really big question. Yeah. Why do I love No Shoes Nation so much? Well, first of all, it was built from the ground up. Second of all, I truly believe that when I look out into the audience, I see a whole lot of people that grew up like I did, that are just like me, that truly love music, love life. They work hard, they play hard. Everybody in my audience, I see that within them. And I don't know, there's just all of a sudden it started growing over the years. There was this thread of love and everything. And then it started from backstage, on stage, out in front of stage, and all of a sudden it just became this one beautiful cell. And I'm proud of that. We were in Foxborough, Massachusetts. I believe it was 2012 when I named my audience No Shoes Nation. And it has been beautiful ever since. It was beautiful before then. But it's been, I could go on and on all day. I could do a whole Facebook Live session about how much I love No Shoes Nation. But those are the common denominators anyway. Let's see. Kylie from Joplin, Missouri has a question. How do you know when an album is finished? And how do you decide that everything is just as it should be? Well, Kylie, that's a struggle that I have. I mean, the most beautiful thing about having music in your life and making a record is the process of making that record. And I truly love the process. I really do. But it's also the most stressful and the most anxiety-ridden. And it's what keeps me up at night because, whatever we do in the studio and put out on the radio, it's a direct reflection of my live show. And I tell you, I edit myself to a fault a lot because I'm constantly thinking about ways to make the live show better and to make the connection better. So the answer to your question is I don't think the record's ever done. I listen to songs that I've done over the years, and I don't listen to it like a fan. I listen to the mix and what I could have done differently, what me and Buddy Cannon and Tony Castle and Reed Shippen and all of us could have done differently. I'll hear something, I went, I wish we had a little more guitar right there. So the album is really never done. It just gets to a point where I just have to turn it in. you know, and it's got to be done at some point. And this one is finally done. And today, thank God it's out, and everybody gets to hear it. And only I've heard it up till now. So, but that's. I hope that answers your question. I don't think my album is ever really done. Okay, Chelsea from Troy, Arizona. Do you have a favorite lyric on the album and why? That's a hard question. Now, I just told Brett and Kat on Knowing You that the lyric, when you finally get to set in with the band, was my favorite lyric. But you know what, guys? I have I've been very fortunate enough to spend a lot of nights in the islands. And at night, when I'm telling you, when you're on a boat or just and you're looking up at the stars at night, or you're at the house or whatever, I would just go and lay on my back and look up into the sky. Because when you're down there, it's you can see everything. There's no exterior, there's no lights of any city to mess up your view at all on any level. So, you can see millions of stars in the sky, and that's beautiful to me. And you realize that there's something out there that's a lot bigger than all of us, and I guess that's the songwriter in me coming out. But those are the kind of thoughts that I had, when I'm doing that. And there's a lyric in a song that David Lee Murphy wrote with Tom Douglas and who else was it? Tony Lane. There's a lyric within that song that defines that kind of moment for me. And it goes, "There's a star in the sky for every grain of sand, and I've stared up at night trying to understand how it all fits in the palm of God's hand. It's a big old beautiful world." And I went, "Amen, David Lee Murphy," when he sent me that song. I mean, that was it, but it truly does describe, just how humble you feel when you're on the ocean or when you're on an island and you look up and you see no lights and all you see is a shooting star, and you hear the environment and you realize how special it all is. And that's why I recorded Big Old Beautiful World. And I'm not going to do all of it, but David Lee just showed up. I didn't even know he was coming. He just come in here and brought his guitar. So we'll do a little bit of it anyway. Yeah, right. In my faded parasol, water, sun-bleached jeans, I got a cold one coming and some songs to sing. My guitar's got brand new strings. It's a big old beautiful world. There's a star in the sky for every grain of sand, and I've stared up at night trying to understand how it all fits in the palm of God's hand. It's a big old beautiful world. Well, it's a big old beautiful world out there. Sometimes you just gotta let it take you where the roller coaster ride meets the tilt-a-whirl. It's a big old beautiful world. It's a big old beautiful world. That's awesome. Thank you for the song, brother.
Thank you, man.
Hey,
thanks for coming.
can you what a great time in our lives to maybe, I don't know if we've never done it. Can you do Everything's Gonna Be All Right? Oh, that's a different take on it.
Oh, everything's gonna be all right.
Everything's gonna be all. Everything gonna be.
But she read the ass of my plastic cups. I say yes, and man, feel her up. Tell me something good, I don't know. This world's been kicking my behind. Life ain't been a friend of mine. Lately I've been feeling kind of low. And she looked back over her shoulder, thinking about the sign hanging up on the wall that said, everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Nobody's gotta worry about nothing. Don't go hitting that panic button. It ain't worth spilling your drink. Everything's gonna be alright. 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 Brother, I love it, man. Thank you, man.
Thank you. That ain't on the record, but I just couldn't help myself. So thank you, brother, for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you. All right. So moving right along, let's see here. Brian and Nicole in Philadelphia. God, I love Philadelphia. We've had a lot of great nights in Philadelphia. So many great summer nights playing music for that crowd is truly unbelievable. And the tailgate experience and what No Shoes Nation brings to that football stadium is just unbelievable. Love you, brother. And anyway, I see Philadelphia, and I just start thinking about all these things, you know. So and all the great nights we've had on stage there. But let's see here. Brian and Nicole from Philadelphia says you make happy music that's actually smart. Well, thank you. I'd like to think so. Is that harder to create than it looks? And is there any song beyond We Do on the record and Here and Now that we haven't heard yet? Well, you know, look, to get a great song is really hard. I mean, anybody tell you that we just wake up every day and write a hit song? We try. We truly do try. But like I said earlier, songs make me happy. And music has always fed me and fed my soul. And I think about my audience, you know, when I'm in the studio recording a song like this. And I wanted to tell you, I want to introduce to you the guy that wrote it, Mr. Jamie Pollan, my buddy from Seattle, Washington. What's up from Seattle? Got Wyatt Beard. All the fans out there know Wyatt. And so, Jamie sent me this song, and it just reminded me a lot of my connection with No Shoes Nation and how much music truly turns the light on in my soul. And when I hear a song like this, I think about all the years of our connection and think about your faces, and I think about, you know, I think about me out there with you and what it takes to turn us all on, and how we like to feel when we come to a concert with our friends and our family and our lovers, whatever it is. And what do we like to hear in the parking lot, and what do we like to feel in the show? And the song Happy Does is one of them. So we're going to do some of it for you if I can remember it. That's why I got Jamie here, if I can't. Oh, son of Coach Harvey, got an 87 Harley, sells gasoline and what you drink 8 to 3 a.m. Got a tattoo for the cold, and ex-wife number 4, humming along, schooling you on the songs on the station. Me, another one cussing the government and all, but he smiles. Got 100 reasons not to, but he's the poster child for happy is, as happy does. Grab a 6-string, find a rope swing, hang a palm tree in your truck, drink a beer, just because. Still a slow dance in a rainstorm and a kiss from who you love. Laugh and live with a half-full cup, 'cause happy is, as happy does.
So find it in the scripture.
Roll a picture. Now you get the message. Going to Tucson, Arizona. I'm sure ain't no looking back on the stuff
you never did. I don't gotta feel it, but life is better when happy is, as happy does. Grab a 6-string, find a rope swing, hang a palm tree in your truck, drink a beer, just because. Still slow dance in a rainstorm and a kiss from who you love. Laugh and live with a half-full cup, 'cause happy is, as happy does.
Last one or not? Okay. She's a long way from the old her, and this mountain diving boulder, every pickle jar, crinkled dollar, takes her another mile high. 'Cause happy is, as happy does. Grab a 6-string, find a rope swing, hang a palm tree in your truck, drink a beer, just because. Still a slow dance in a rainstorm and a kiss from who you love. Laugh and live with a half-full cup. When it's all black clouds, find the sun, 'cause happy is, as happy does. Happy is, as happy does. half full cup. All right. Thank you, Jamie.
Sorry.
That's all right. I'll have a beer with you in a minute. So it's
Oh, man.
all right. I love you too, brother. Thank you. What a great song. I appreciate it. All right. So moving right along. You never know what's going to come out of these stories. I'm telling you, anytime somebody says something, it spurs another story and another moment in time of creativity. So, let's see here. Carly from Dallas. What song from Here and Now are you most excited to play live? Well, for anybody that's in No Shoes Nation, they probably already know the answer to this question. But I would say, I don't know, 3/4 of my album done this past fall, but it was missing something. I knew what it was missing, but I didn't have it yet, and it kept me up at night. What was missing was just pure, raw energy that I could start the record with, and the raw energy that I know I can start a show with maybe, and the energy that I expect to feel up there that I've felt for years up there on stage. And I'm telling you, people have asked me to explain that, and I can't. You can't explain what that feels like, because it's like the best way to explain it is like an avalanche or a big wave coming right over you, and there's nothing you can do about it, not one thing. And that's what I love about the audience, is how passionate they are, and what they give us and how much love. But for the last 5 or 10 years, I've had this phrase lying on my lap out on the road, because a lot of my stage manager, Tom Nyson, and a lot of my crew guys, before we start rehearsal and before we definitely do every show, we have this moment of recognition of how fortunate we are to have music in our life, to have the audience that we have, and the fact that you guys care that much about it. And that phrase has been, who lives like we do? And the answer is, all at once we all go, we do. And it's just, like I said, it's just a recognition of knowing how fortunate we are and how blessed. And so I did a writer's trip. I was out in Southern California last fall, and I called a bunch of my songwriting friends to come out there for 2 weeks. And it was just one big think tank. All we did was sit in houses and write songs with everybody and just make up stuff. On that writing trip is when I truly believe I finished my record. It's when we wrote We Do and we wrote Here and Now. Those two songs came out of that trip. And it was it was a blessing, really. You know, Here and Now obviously is the title of the album and is our first single. But the song that I'm really looking forward to playing live is We Do, just because I believe it truly is a love letter to my audience and the people that have been there with us for a long time, who come early, stay late, and give us that wave of energy that you just can't explain. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to playing a lot of music when we do play music again. But songs like Here and Now and Happy Does and We Do and even Knowing You, there's a lot of music on this record that I'm looking forward to playing when we get back out there on the road. So that's a long answer, but anyway, I'm kind of passionate about those kind of questions. See, Kimber, who's from Florida, let's see here. Is there a song on Here and Now that taught you that you want to makes you want to laugh out loud? Oh yeah, there's a couple. Look, there's a couple of things that I try to do when I'm making a record, and that's take people down down this emotional roller coaster ride. Now, some songs have got to give you strength. Some songs have got to I don't know. They just gotta make you be strong enough to leave, strong enough to stay. They got to make you happy. They got to make you laugh. They got to make you cry. And so that's let's see here. The one song on Here and Now that makes me laugh, which I think that was your question. I got a little sidetracked. The one song that makes me laugh on the record is Wasted. And I'm going to introduce these guys. They here, Bobby. Is Bobby in here? James, come on in, guys. Bobby Hemgren and James Slater, come on up, fellas. But one of the reasons these guys wrote this song, along with David Lee Murphy. But good to see you, brother. But here's the reason I loved Wasted. Okay, is because I truly believe that this song, and there's a lot of songs on this record about living, just about living your life to the fullest and being in the moment, which is really hard for me. But we're reminded when these guys get together and write these songs that we need to live in the moment. We need to live our best life. And I truly believe that I've made this analogy before, but I believe God gives us a lemon, and it's up to us to squeeze every drop out of that we can. And when I heard Wasted, it just made me laugh because the character in the song was doing just that. And finances didn't matter. I mean, if you could, Bobby, tell the story about, because this song was written about a soccer player overseas, right?
Yes, yeah. This song was originally something I heard about old soccer player from Northern Ireland named George Best. And I came in, I told James and David Lee Murphy that story. We just laughed, and David Lee just started singing the chorus.
Of course
it just happened.
Hillbilly rock star out of control.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah. It just happened. He paused for maybe 30, 40
so
seconds.
that's a true story. The
yeah.
soccer player, and he just told you that story. And
I don't know him. You didn't know?
I
I just read about it. Yeah.
Ah, great.
So many things have to line up.
So,
David Lee Murphy was the perfect guy to write that song.
Perfect.
Unbelievable.
And it just,
Yeah.
I can promise you, I didn't mention Wasted in the songs before about what I'm looking forward to doing live, but I believe my audience really goes hand in hand with living their best life out there on the road with us. So here we go, everybody. Here's Wasted, the best we can.
Let's do this.
I said, man, what are you doing here? I see the band just bought you a beer. I used to see your face all over TV shows and magazine covers. Said I went through a fortune just like that, down to the shirt that I got on my back. And I said, how? He said, pretty damn fast. But hey man, since you asked, I spent it on high living, wild women at a roulette wheel that I kept spinning. Beachside bars, big shiny cars, long vacations and warm locations. I was going non-stop till I squeezed every drop of that good time, top shelf, sweet life that I tasted. And to tell you the truth, the rest I just wasted. Great song, fellas. James, you want in?
Bobby, you take this one.
Well, he kind of laughed underneath those shades. He said, yeah, son, I had it made. I had a big boat. It made me smile. And it burned money, gallons to miles. I really don't worry about where it went, 'cause it's still fun thinking about when I spent it on high living, wild women, that roulette wheel that I kept spinning. Beachside bars, big shiny cars, long vacations in warm locations. I was going non-stop till I squeezed every drop of that good time, top shelf, sweet life that I tasted. And to tell you the truth, the rest I just wasted.
Oh, yeah.
You know the rest?
Yeah. Yeah, I could have put it in the bank somewhere and saved it. Yeah, I could have. Nah, son, you ain't ever gonna hear me complaining.
Here's why. Well, I spent it on high living, big tipping, limo rides and champagne sipping, first class tickets to who knows where. It really didn't matter till we got there. I was going non-stop till I squeezed every drop of that good time, top shelf, sweet life that I tasted. And to tell you the truth, the rest I just wasted. I spent it on loving and living, loved every minute. The rest I wasted. So whoever that soccer player was in Ireland,
Yeah,
thank you
man.
very much.
Thank you.
Thank you
all
guys
of
very
you
much for
out
coming.
there.
I appreciate it.
Gosh, it's
What a
gonna be
great
good.
song.
What a blast.
All right.
Thanks, man.
James, that was awesome. Thank you, sir. Anybody in Key West watching, James? Everybody. Okay. You're right. Okay, I was just making sure. Okay, here we go. Miranda from, we don't know where Miranda's from, but Miranda has a question. How do you stay present, inspired, and grateful? Wow. Well, the first part is everything that I'm trying to preach in this record, because there's a lot of this record about being present. And that's why I love the song Here and Now, and that's why I wanted that to be the first message that came out on this record, to speak to my audience, because it's really hard. I struggle with being present and in the here and now, and when I'm on stage, it's one of the few places that I don't struggle with it, because I look out into the audience, and I can tell that we are collectively not thinking about tomorrow or not that previous morning or last week. It's great when you feel yourself in sync with the audience, and everybody is just, if they were given the chance, they don't want to be anywhere else than right there. And that is truly living in the moment and being present. What inspires me is just my family inspires me, my friends inspire me, my audience inspires me, my road family inspires me. Books, anything creative inspires me. The islands inspire me. The characters of people that I've met in the islands have inspired so much of my life. So there's a lot, that really that has really gone into my creative soul that has gotten me to this point of my life. So I hope that answers your question. Matt from St. Louis, Missouri. What's the saddest song on the record or the sexiest song on the record? Hey, is Josh and Dustin here? Yeah, come on in, guys. So Matt from St. Louis asked this question, and so the answer to your question is that there's one song that's actually, for me, both of those. Like the song You Don't Get To it was one of the first songs I recorded on the Here and Now album. And it just sat there because, in the creative process, you don't know where everything's going to land and how it's all going to mesh together. But I always loved what this song said, and from the first time I heard it, because the interpreter of this song finally got to a place in his life where he was maybe in an on and off, or she, whoever it is in an on and off relationship with someone, and that can be exhausting. And finally, the character in this song had just had enough and stood up, for him or herself. And they said, no matter how this used to be, you don't get to come in here anymore. You don't get to what's the word? You don't get to affect my life like you're affecting it. You don't get to keep pushing me down this emotional road and up and down this emotional roller coaster ride. So the reason I truly love this song is because the character in the song was finally standing up for themselves and moving on with their life. And that takes a lot of strength, and it takes a while to get there. Sometimes you do go back because it's comfortable, right?
Sometimes it takes like 2 years.
Sometimes it takes. Yeah, really? Is there a story there? No, not tonight anyway. So,
Not yet.
but guys, you wrote a great song, and I appreciate y'all coming. And yeah, will y'all help me sing it?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. This is You Don't Get To, everybody. I can't say that you don't hurt me anymore. I haven't changed enough to make me think I'm what you're looking for. And I can't be the fix to what you're going through. Maybe I'm not the same me, but you're still the same you. So you don't get to know what I do with my time. You don't get to say you ain't doing alright. You don't get to come around saying that you want me now. You don't get to show up with that look in your eyes. You don't get to think that you can take it all back. You don't get to miss what you said we never had. I don't have to understand. You don't get to give a damn. After all you put me through, no, you don't get to. You don't get to.
Did you come back 'cause I didn't break enough? Did you see that I was happy and just had to mess it up? Or is it just some phase you're always going through? To want what you can't have, leave it
What a
when you
great
do.
line, man.
So you don't get to know what I do in my time. You don't get to say you ain't doing alright. You don't get to come around saying that you want me now. You don't get to show up with that look in your eyes. You don't get to think that you can take it all back. You don't get to miss what you said we never had. I don't have to understand. You don't get to give a damn. After all you put me through, no, you don't get to. No, you don't get to.
You don't get to kiss me and make it all better. You don't get to lay it all out in a letter. Blame it on nothing, break me like it's nothing, just to love me back together.
And you don't get to show up with your head hanging down. Move a little closer like you're moving right now. I don't have to understand. You don't get to give a damn. After all you put me through, no, you don't get to.
You don't get to. You don't get to. You don't get to. Thank you, fellas.
Thank you so much.
That was seriously one of the first songs I recorded for the whole record, and I'm really glad that I get to sing a song like that every night for the rest of my life. What a great song.
Thank you, Kenny.
Beautiful. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Silas in Kentucky said you've wanted to just get the writers together. You want to just get the writers together, talk and laugh and have some fun. So how does that change the songs? Well, look, songwriters have changed my life. That's what I like when I was in college at East Tennessee State University. I consumed myself with music. I consumed myself with just people that loved the craft of songwriting. And you know, I forgot, it was a couple of people back asked me what inspired me, you know, in my life, and songwriters inspired me. Being a songwriter is one of the biggest blessings of my life. When people ask me, you know, what is one of the biggest blessings, and it's the fact that I truly believe it's a God-given thing inside of you. That's a gift that allows you to take a human emotion and make somebody feel something with it through music. And I feel blessed that I've been able to do that in my life. That I've had all these songwriters that you heard tonight, and honestly, all the ones that have been such a huge part of my life. And you know, those are my heroes. The people that wrote their own songs or wrote songs that also wrote them and went out on the road and sang them. Those are the guys and girls that I truly looked up to the most. And that's what inspires me. I'm very passionate about that. And that's one of the reasons that I think Buddy Cannon and I have had such a good relationship over the years when it comes to making records, is because, you know, I think Buddy and I have taught each other a lot, but the thing that Buddy Cannon taught me was song sense at an age when I'd first moved to town where I was very impressionable. And I got to hang around a lot of great songwriters when I first signed with Acuff Rose. And so, you know, guys like Buddy and Troy Tomlinson and so many people in my life that wouldn't let me like bad songs. So I really appreciate that. But the fact that you get to hang around great songwriters and collaborate is a blessing. But every now and then you get a song that truly is just it's just a slice of life. And it's no secret. I've lived a lot of my adult life on a boat, on islands, and in boating communities. And that's where I feel really, really comfortable in my skin. And I've gotten, some of my most wonderful lifelong friends live in those boating communities and on islands, and they make their living tying knots on a boat and living in marinas, and they're setting at bars in those marinas, and they're all the restaurants, and there's in the atmosphere of that it's just so beautiful, and that's what always has inspired me. So my buddy here, James Slater, sent me a song, I don't know, a couple months ago? 3 months ago.
Just before Christmas.
It was just before Christmas, and this was the last song that I recorded for Here and Now. And it was, I think, one of the first questions I got asked is, when do you know your album is done? Do you ever know? And I thought my album was done until I heard James's song called Guys Named Captain. And as a songwriter, I was really impressed with this song. I was jealous of the song, but it's just it's just poetry at its best, and in my opinion, for a lot of reasons. Because like I said, I've got a lot of friends on island. I got a lot of friends. We share a lot of friends in the Keys, and there's a certain kind of soul that just exists in that kind of environment. And when James played me this song, it was pretty emotional, because I thought about my own boat captains in my life. I thought about Boat Captain Ben and Boat Captain Brian and Boat Captain Marty and Boat Captain Bob. And I got so many boat captains that are friends of mine in my life that have been a huge part. But it's not just the captains. It's everybody that lives with them and within them. And it's life experiences. And I wouldn't trade anything. All the sunsets I've seen in the islands or in the Keys or anywhere, sitting on a boat with a boat captain. Mm-hmm. And I just want to thank you for this song, man. And you want to tell a little story about it?
Of course,
because it was written about your father, correct?
It was written about my dad. My dad was a psychiatrist. He passed 3 years ago, and he was a mandolin-playing psychiatrist. But before, I remember my mom saying that they had $600 in the bank when they married years ago, and before they even got a home, they got a boat. You know what I mean? It was a little dinghy, but that's my dad had to have. The guy, So I grew up in the Panama Canal Zone, and I always, ever since I moved to town, I felt a kindred spirit with you, because your music is amazing, obviously, but I grew up in the Panama Canal Zone, and the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean there are 50 miles apart. That's why they built a canal there. No. So you and I could literally be sitting on the Pacific Ocean, having a beer and going, let's go to the Atlantic Ocean, drive 50 minutes now, and be on the other side, So I've been around those guys, those same guys you've been writing about, the same guys your fans love. Those guys, I know them. My dad's been a sailor all his life, so when you grow up around those guys,
I've known you a long time, and
and then Key West,
Key West, and James wrote a song. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
No.
For everybody out there listening and watching, James wrote a song for me that was on the Lucky Old Son album called "The Life."
Yeah,
and it's still one of my. I still get people. It was such a beautiful song, and I still get people today going, I wish I could live like Jose. It's like
I get that all the time.
I do too, actually.
There's a life lesson in that, Great. And I don't know, your heart. I'm just thankful to Buddy Cannon, because I played it. It was a piano vocal, and that I could, did that and put my heart into it, and it's a real honest song, and that you heard it. And you've been so amazing. And then your recording of it. And people out there don't know. You go through a lot of processes. Yeah. You're hoping it gets recorded. You hope it gets recorded well. Oh, my God, Kenny, you killed it. And now the mail we're getting and the response from people, fans.
It's beautiful.
Oh, but man, I'm honored.
When James gave me the piano vocal of the demo, I was actually going down to the Virgin Islands and get on my boat. And I played that song for a lot of my friends down there. And you could hear the first line. And you could tell that they were trying not, and they just cried. I mean, it was really emotional, because, after Hurricane Irma, there's some of those guys we're singing about that didn't make it.
Of course.
And we were friends with a lot of them. So I
Yeah.
think your song has touched a lot of people, my friend, and God bless you. It's one of the, it's just, I go on and on about it, but I just absolutely love Guys Named Captain.
Well,
and thank you for singing it with me.
This is like a dream. I'm sorry, but it's like a dream to be sitting here, and the people that song through you will connect to in every part of the world, in every marina, in every back billiard bar, in every tiki bar. So I just thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome very much. We'll see if I can remember it.
See if I can get through at the very end because
It's about your
my
dad.
pops and
Yeah.
all of our.
So Vic is your
people.
father.
Vic's my dad, Captain
All
Vic.
right.
Yeah,
Captain
yeah,
Vic.
yeah. Thanks.
Guys named Captain are always characters living by the water somewhere in the Americas, south or central, or some virgin island, barefoot and sun-kissed, always smiling.
Guys named Captain aren't haters, they're lovers, living life large or largely undercover. Dive bars and cocktails, waitresses and tall tales, chasing the sun, run aground or full sail.
Like Captain Outrageous and Captain Tony, a painter and a sailor, and old Key West cronies floating upon the breeze, the salt of the sea, ornery, tattooed and laughing, guys named Captain.
Casanovas and entrepreneurs, full of bravado, that's half the allure. The wink of the eye, the shadowy past, laugh lines from blowing, smoke up your glass.
Like Captain Bligh and Captain Kidd, mutiny on the Bounty, loose cannons in the wind, buccaneers with nothing to fear, who go down with the ship, last man standing, guys named Captain. You ready?
I'm ready.
Your verse.
You got it, brother. Guys named Captain have sons and daughters, flesh and blood, like my father, Captain Vic, who played the mandolin. And when they're gone, man, you miss them. Guy's name, Captain.
So beautiful, James. Guy's name Captain. So if anybody is down in the Keys or anywhere in the world on their boat, whether it's overseas in Ireland or in Italy or the Virgin Islands or in Nantucket or in the Outer Banks or in Maine or in Rhode Island or in Boston Harbor, if you're watching this on a boat or living
Yes,
on a boat,
yes.
this song's for you.
Preach
I
it.
love you guys. I love you, James.
Thank
Appreciate
you,
you, baby.
Kenny.
Thank you so very much. Yeah, right?
And Kenny Greenberg, thank you very much.
Kenny Greenberg,
That was like a
right.
sea shanty all of a
You
sudden.
were-
It felt so
You were
good.
showing off a little bit right there.
Yeah.
So-
Kenny, I love you, man.
I love you too,
I
man.
love you, man. Take care.
So look, I wish we had more time. There's a lot to say about this record, and there's a lot that I want to say, and but before I go on, I do want to thank everybody that made this happen. This is a very exciting record for me and Warner Brothers and all the Warner Brothers team, and John Esposito, Chris Lacey, Shane, everybody, Ben Klein, Wes Voss, everybody, and all my whole team that helped put this together. I love you guys and I appreciate it. But also, I want to thank SiriusXM. I want to thank the Highway. I want to thank my SiriusXM radio station, No Shoes Nation, and all of. I just said No Shoes Nation. No Shoes Radio, man. My own radio. I want to thank everybody at No Shoes Radio, which is the radio station for No Shoes Nation. And I love you guys. I can't wait to see you. And before I get off, we've had a lot of people ask, what the status of the tour is, and I just want you to know that I'm cautiously optimistic that we're going to play music this year. Of course, we don't know. And as a lot of you know, we play in a lot of venues that the NFL plays in. And so we're just all in a wait-and-see game, you know what I mean? So I hope we play. I hope we see you guys this year. And I promise you will know when I know. But please know that I miss you. We were supposed to be tomorrow night at the home of the Minnesota Vikings, and I'm going to miss it. And I've missed what we missed already this year. It's been tough because we were in rehearsal getting ready to, set this whole circus up and come do this again. And I was going to see your faces. I was going to go to Radio Room. I was going to have and see everybody at Country Radio. And I was going to eat in catering, have Jill bring me my dinner at 4:30, and then just the whole night just kind of goes. And next thing you know, I'm on stage at 8:50, and we all get to give each other a collective hug. And we were in rehearsals getting ready to do that, and it just the rug got pulled out from underneath all of us. And I just want you to know that. We understand your disappointment, but there's nobody more disappointed than us. And honestly, we all feel, we just feel lost without you. And we feel lost not being, not opening our tour at the Dallas Cowboys football stadium and not playing in Milwaukee like we were supposed to do, in Houston and San Antonio. The shows we've already missed. Like I said, tomorrow night we're supposed to be at the Minnesota Vikings football stadium, and we're not going to be there, but we will be there sooner or later. And I want you to know I love you. I want you to know that having you in my life and having someone to sing to is one of the biggest gifts in the world. Being a songwriter and being surrounded by all these guys and girls that came and sang some of these songs with me and for you tonight, it's just a blessing. And I want to just say thank you. I love you. No Shoes Nation, everybody out there listening or watching tonight, I hope to see you soon. And love you. Good night.